Hold up.
Hey guys, it is Tristan with Nerdouts Newsstand, and I've been going back and forth on this topic for about the last 36 hours, trying to decide whether or not I actually wanted to address it, because I know in an instance like this, I'm going to get a huge amount of backlash, so I kind of wanted to avoid that. I try to avoid backlash whenever possible, but not really. Because a lot of the times I will call out both sides, right? I've called out the left attacking T. Franklin for her views on Harley and Ivy. I've called out the right attacking Song-Chi for being diverse. Like, I've called out a lot of really ridiculous ideals on this channel, and a lot of channels not using common sense. And that brings us to why I want to talk about this. I think this is actually a bigger deal than a lot of what I've called out. And I want to start by saying I have nothing against Vita Ayala at all. I have enjoyed quite a few of their work, right? The backup in Future State, the next Batman, the Batgirl story was really good. They wrote a really good Poison Ivy story, and I can't remember if that was an urban legend or not. They wrote a really good story in New Year's Evil, Static Shock. Like, Static Shock has been super, super good. Nubia and the Amazons, I reviewed. If you don't like these stories, that's fine. Tell me why you don't like these stories. But going at somebody and actually calling them and making pseudoscience, pseudo-medical, I guess, is the best way to put it. Actual diagnosis is ridiculous. The hate this person has received is beyond extreme, beyond anything I could have ever seen for a single person. Like, maybe Chris Pratt from the left, but Vita has gotten it really, really bad. And there's actually not a huge amount of reasons why besides disagreeing politically. If you disagree with somebody politically, it's okay. It really is. It's no different in a lot of cases than disagreeing with somebody on what type of food you prefer or what type of music you enjoy. So if you're attacking somebody because of their political beliefs, unless it's something that's near and dear to your heart, like maybe LGBTQ rights or trans rights or I don't know. I don't know what else. If you're attacking somebody and calling them, making claims that they are mentally retarded is unacceptable and unbelievable in this community. Like, as far as comics as a whole, because I definitely don't include myself in the community of which I am speaking of, but it actually, you know what? Extraordinary claims take extraordinary evidence. And the fact that the evidence behind this was reading milestones for kids from kidshealth.org or the ICD-9 codes, right, for mental retardation, that is beyond anything I have ever seen from this community. I have seen some hateful things. This is quite possibly the worst I have ever seen. There is no extraordinary evidence. It is a speculation, and not even like a good speculation, right? We speculate all the time on this channel about comics, but the whole idea, and obviously by now, if you've made it this far, you know who I'm talking about. You know I'm talking about diversity in comics. Basically went on to say that he was his sergeant would let him know and be honest with him, even if he didn't want to hear it. I can about guarantee that he didn't make a video about you for 15,000 plus people to see. I bet he would have pulled you aside and told you if you had a booger at your nose. Like, I went through some of the comments because yesterday when I heard this video, I was mortified. I was mortified and humiliated for Vita. Now, I hope and do not send any hate because I'm doing nothing but sticking up for Vita. Don't even send any hate to Richard C. Meyer, because at one point I did enjoy his channel. But this is beyond reprehensible. You don't act like this because somebody said in a public interview they started reading at 10. Average is about, from the charts shown from kidshelp.org, what, well reading would be 7 to 9. It's not really that much later, right? I still have issues speaking in complete sentences, right? Sometimes I skip over my words. Sometimes I read things backwards. That doesn't make me retarded. Like, we all use, and our brains all are wired a little differently, right? We all use the intelligence that we have in a very different way. And this made me retroactively think. This made me retroactively think about the times when people called out Comicsgate as a whole, like with Tom King. What Tom King did to Jay Lee was disgusting, because Jay Lee didn't know what anything to do with Comicsgate was. But had a video like this that I don't know about been out there, maybe that's why he was so passionate. Maybe that's why he realized what Jay Lee had messed up on. Now he should have done it in private, right? But when you're retroactively thinking because one person, that's pretty bad, especially when you are such a big influence in your community. You should probably think about what you say. There are certain things you can say behind closed doors. Of course there is. Like, that's ridiculous to say otherwise. Those are one of those things you say behind closed doors. Not only that, but if you really cared, I'm going to say it right now. If you really cared, you wouldn't have made a fucking video about it. You wouldn't have made a fucking video about it. You would have reached out. I don't believe for a second that there is not a few connections, even if it's, 6 degrees of separation. There would have been a way to get a hold of Vita. You don't care. You're kind of blanketing it like you care. And a lot of this comes down to making a brand on attacking these people. And I think there are clear ways to win a debate, right? If you're reading a comic book and you don't like it, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to review it and not have it be called hate speech, right? There's no reason why you can't critique it. There's no reason why you can't say, look, this book was trash because of A, B, and C. You don't get to go around and make extraordinary claims. You don't get to go around and attack people in that way. Like, honestly, I've been around the internet for a little bit, right? I've never seen anything quite that hateful. Like, I was shocked for a very long time. And I wouldn't even be talking about it, honestly, if I could have got it out of my head. I wouldn't even be talking about it if it didn't keep coming up in my brain to where I felt like I was being disingenuous by not bringing this subject up. You don't treat people this way. If you have something to say, argue their merits and what they have to say, what they do, what they write. You don't have this pseudoscience diagnosis to call someone retarded. What is wrong with you? Honestly, what is wrong with you? Just put yourself in the other person's shoes for 2 goddamn seconds and you would know it was wrong. Like, I remember at the earliest memories that I have of school, one of the very first things we learned was do unto others as they would do to you, as you would want to be treated. Is that how you want to be treated? Not only that, to take it a step further, is that what you want to be known for? Honestly, is that what you want to be known for? Do you realize how messed up that is? Do you realize that there is a real issue with real people that have learning disabilities? And you're equating a bad comic book writer, in your eyes, to somebody that's retarded. That is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. You should be ashamed of yourself. Anyways. Whew, I feel better. I'm sure this is going to go over so well, right? Anyways, let me know what you guys think. I'm shocked. Honestly, I know this isn't going to go over well. I do. But you know what? I'm going to take the Zach way about it. You may not like what I have to say, but I'm going to be honest and tell you. You should be ashamed of yourself. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.